r/AskReddit. Employees of Build-A-Bear. What is the weirdest thing a customer has requested? Back in the earlier Build-A-Bear days, I was asked to put an urn that contained the ashes of their father who had recently passed from cancer into the bear. I didn't know what to say and my manager was on break. They were really sweet and I completed the task for them, read Teddy, if I recall correctly. They also had previously recorded his voice, so that also went into the Teddy. 20 minutes later, when my manager returned, I informed her of what happened and how I handled it, and within the next few months we had a store policy of no deceased remains. Looking back on it, I'm happy I could do that for them. They even dressed it like him, and had planned to have it on the mantle for the family and grandchildren to press the hand and hear him. I took a 5-year-old voicemail from my past grandfather saying happy birthday and put it into a Build-A-Bear for my aunt, who was close to him and devastated by his loss. It was a bunny dressed up in a Phillies uniform since he loved the team. Even out glasses and got a fake little white mustache glued on. And I gave it to her on her birthday so her dad could always wish her a happy birthday. Well, I gotta stop reading this thread. That one made me tear up a little. I was not an employee but I interviewed. It was a group interview and they asked us all questions. Toward the end they asked us individually if we wanted to sing a song but stressed we didn't have to. Only employees who sang moved on in the interview process. Sure, I'll sing you a song. What should I sing? Dealer's choice. You got it, chief. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the Watching a teenage girl make a bear dressed like her boyfriend, for her boyfriend, while he was there. I have never seen someone try so hard to look interested, but failing. Teenage love, I guess. The weirdest thing is all the middle-aged women who come in every time something new is released. They collect them, but are always super weird people. She and my ex would have gotten along well. His one present to me was a Build-A-Bear dressed exactly like him. Maybe she was his ex. I worked there for almost 5 years back in the early 2000s. Once there was a woman who came in with her son's monkey and asked for a hole to be stitched up. This was common and we all knew how to do a basic ladder stitch, so my manager agreed to do it. When she took it in the back, she noticed that there were holes only in the crotch of the monkey and that the fur was matted. That's when she realized that this woman's son was probably masturbating into the doll. I don't remember if my manager put on gloves and stitched it or offered the woman a new doll, but that was by far the craziest request. I also once had to get into that bear costume after someone wore it for 2+ hours because a woman complained that her son wanted to meet the bear and we had packed up 10 minutes early. That sucked really bad. Yikes. I can't believe the woman didn't notice that. It must have been so awkward for your manager. I worked at Build-A-Bear for 8 years. It honestly was a pretty great job. The weirdest request I ever had was a woman brought in a moose, not our brand. It was a gift from her boyfriend and her children had ripped the head clean off. She wanted to know if we could fix it. I was one of the better ones at the sewing, so the manager brought it to me. I told the woman I would do my best. I was able to get the head back on. Returned it to the woman and she said it looked as good as new. One day we had a kindergarten teacher drag in this huge Eeyore stuffed animal that the kids love. It had gone flat over the years and smelled and looked just gross. We actually opened it up and refilled it. The smell as the air and stuffing went into it was awful. Sewed it back up and sent her on her way. We had multiple people come in to put pacifiers in the bear to break their little one of the habit. One particular mom did that. Then came back 3 days later and had us open it up and remove it. The saddest was the woman who put a mini urn of her parents' ashes inside. Anyway, those are the ones that stick out to me. I worked there in high school about 10 years ago now. I guess the weirdest thing, but was very common, was putting dead relatives' recorded voices into stuffed animals. One was for a little girl whose father had died in Iraq. I was definitely crying while I sewed that bear up. Other than that, there were a few bronies that came in for Rainbow Dash. They were always very awkward but nice. When my dad died, we had a teddy bear made that was made out of 2 of his favorite shirts. The bear wore his favorite shirt and was made out of the second favorite. Not an employee, but at the one in the mall near me the employees told me that a lady would come in with her pet monkey that she treated as her child. She used it as a clothing story for the monkey. She also tried to sue the local school district into letting the monkey attend but was unsuccessful. She's bananas. She needs to stop monkeying around, right? Being asked to repair a Smurfette because she was getting a little loose. Build a bear wank shop. Build a bear jerk shop. My mom and I are both adults and we both like stuffed animals. My mom wanted a lion from Build-A-Bear a long time ago and the employee wouldn't let her finish making her look until she made a wish on the heart. The strangest request she probably ever got was, "Stop telling me to make a wish." My 11-year-old son just wanted a Psyduck. He didn't want to do any of the rituals and the girl just kept asking him to rub the heart on his nose and ear and all that. He's stone-faced saying no thanks, I just like it stuffed, and she says, "I'm just doing my job." I understand, but cripes, the kid clearly didn't feel comfortable doing it. He just really wanted the Psyduck. When I worked there they really wanted to encourage us to do the heart ceremony, but if I got someone who clearly wasn't interested I didn't push it. Our job is to make the entire experience personally fun, not pushing the same generic crap on every customer. A native family wanted to put a real bear tooth inside the bear. It was for a newborn. I made sure to check the sharpness of the tooth so it wouldn't puncture the fabric. Nothing weird with that job though. Although, there was a time when this old, drunk guy walked by the store and tried to grab a little girl near the entrance. A father intervened and got her back, but people were more bewildered by this guy doing it so obviously rather than get upset. I hated the store's music though, kids singing hit songs. I hated the chipper face, voice we had to put on, and I hated handling the fluff when refilling it. Pumped up kicks, with kids' voices. It's on our store's radio at least 6x a day. Now that's an interesting choice. Did they change the lyrics? Not an employee, but a few years ago I went with my little sister to get some horse thing done and we were waiting in line to do the heart thing where you have to kiss it and promise to love the thing forever. The girl in front of us asked the lady doing the hearts if her bear was gay because it was rainbow. The employee looked a bit taken aback but recovered and told her the bear could be gay if she wanted. And in the most lethal voice I have ever heard out of a small child she said, "If you give him a gay heart I'll rip it out myself and feed it to the wolves," haunts me to this day. Jesus, what a house she must grow up in. Back when I worked a few years ago, I had a customer come in holding a bag of what looked like at least 10 pacifiers. She spread the pacifiers throughout the inside of the bear, and told her son that they were a big boy now and didn't need the pacifiers anymore, but he'll always be close to them as they are in the bear now. So I guess it wasn't so weird as it was sweet. Nah, that's pretty weird. I worked at Build-A-Bear for about 2-ish years. I just recently quit this past April. My does time fucking fly. People put a lot of things in their stuffed animals, voices of deceased relatives was a popular one. I don't think that's weird though, we all grieve in our own ways and hey, if a bear with Uncle Ted's voice in it comforts you, whatever. The people who really weirded me out were the people who didn't want anything. Not just no sounds or smells or whatever, I get it, that shit's expensive and adds up quickly. I worked there and I couldn't afford a decked out teddy bear. I mean no fabric heart for the heart ceremony, no birth certificate, no box, nothing. All of which are free and encouraged. Exclamation mark. I want you to remember something, this is Build-A-Bear. You are buying a $30 teddy bear for your kid. You can go literally anywhere else for a stuffed animal for half the price. Build-A-Bear is about the experience of making the bear, customizing it, and taking it home for your kid to have its own custom and personal furry friend. Yes, that is what we have to call them. Why the fuck are you paying $30 for a random stuffed animal? Why are you doing this? What the fuck is wrong with you? At least put a fabric heart in, dude. It's free. It's literally free to put in a cute little heart with a wish for your child. It makes no sense and to this day frustrates me because to me there's no better way to say I don't give a shit about what I'm getting my child for Christmas than that. Also, as a bonus, people who were super weird with gendering their kid's stuffed animal weirded me the fuck out. It's a teddy bear, Kyle, your daughter can give it a tiara and name it Michael Jackson if she wants. Edit, this is currently my most upvoted comment and it makes me super happy. All of you sharing your Build-A-Bear stories and fuck gender norms, get a unicorn Brandon stories are wonderful and have made my entire day. Thank you for this sparkling heart. I have been censored in my bear's name twice at a Build-A-Bear. One happened when I was 5, one when I was 6. When I was 5 I got a bear who I wanted to name Honeypunch. Shut up, I was 5. The attendant told me no, punch is a bad word, so she forced me to change it to bunch. The same thing happened with the second best next year, albeit different first half of the name. That's some serious censoring. My first thought was how Honeypunch could be the name of a delicious drink. Makes me think of domestic abuse. Customer, not Emiloi. Years ago I made a monkey one for my cousin that I put a noise maker in the crotch that would laugh when you squeezed it. Got some really awkward looks from the employee helping me put it together. My grandma was definitely not amused when my cousin opened it in front of the whole family. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Reddit stories like this.